actually passed 80%.
We might finally see Greef get verified soon. At this rate, he might actually verify
Doggie
Greef
might
this
verify
month.
Greef
Before I
soon.
show you
He's
the
about to
verify Greef is genuinely going to be verified.
He's now got out of his mind block.
It's never that simple. I thought finally passing 80% would open a new door. I thought it would be the answer to everything. I thought it would finally be the push I needed to verify Greef. But as the days went by, I realized that nothing had changed. I still felt the same dread opening the level, the same gut-wrenching pressure when getting a far attempt, and the same exhaustion after every stream. All that 83% gave me was a new title, just something to add to my resume, even though it didn't mean anything. The real consequence of 83% was just a long road of disappointment for myself and for all of you. I wanted a new best so bad, more than anything, more than verifying the level, I feel like. But really, I just wanted to feel something. But when I got 83%, I seriously felt nothing. And that hurt a lot. Progress on Greef went cold once again, through December and through January. I couldn't bring myself to even play the level because I knew how it would make me feel. To sit there for hours and feel the verification moving further and further away from me. I wanted Greef behind me so badly, but I couldn't handle the sight of it so far in front. But of course, I can never put it behind me if I never click play. I obviously needed to do something drastic, but what could I do?
I think Doggie should buff Greef and start from scratch, basically.
I would honestly consider taking like several month-long break from Greef just to like completely refresh.
I think Doggie should start playing Greef off stream, bro. He needs to change something.
Doggie has to change something about this verification soon. He needs to change something. I have a theory that Doggie Greef can be verified if Doggie just...
My failures being a topic of discussion amongst everyone in the community was never exactly comforting, and honestly nothing anybody said ever sounded like what I needed. What I needed was something to accomplish, some way to play Greef without focusing on my failures, and instead be able to use the streams to accomplish something bigger. Whatever I decided to do, I needed to make a commitment, and after thinking about it long and hard, I announced my decision to stream Greef every single day during the month of February. 28 days, 28 streams. That way, each stream didn't feel so personal. I could detach from the individual streams and look at it from a distance. I was completing a challenge to stream every day, and I think this decision was a good one. So without further ado, let's talk about February, the 22nd month of Greef. It's finally time for another progress report video. Last one was covering the month of October, as I was building up more and more consistency until finally getting 83% on November 1st. I'm officially back to the Greef grind. In February, I streamed Greef 26 times, unfortunately not 28 because I had to take 2 breaks for the sake of my hand, but during this period I gained 19,000 attempts, now sitting at a total of 375,000. We're approaching the big 400k. Like this video if you think I'm gonna hit 400k attempts, but also like it if you think I'm gonna beat it before then. Okay, anyway, so actually to start off with this February recap, I'm gonna jump back to the end of January first. I announced that I would stream every day of February on January 7th, but at that time I had kind of went MIA from streaming, so I wasn't exactly at my peak consistency. And while forcing myself to play every day would help bring me back, I didn't want to start February cold turkey and get burned out from, just being ass. So for the last week of January, I prepared myself for what was to come. No pressure to perform, just stalling until February 1st hits. As expected, I didn't cook any amazing progress, but I did get some decent runs. 44 to 80, 35 to 80, and 25 to 81. Seemed like I couldn't quite pass the tacos wave though, until stream 300 on January 27th. After almost an entire year, I finally got my second 25 to 100 run. This is still my best run to 100 on the level, but it felt really good to be able to do it again. To top it off, I got back to the second drop, which is something I hadn't done since November. Not that I wasn't capable, I just wasn't really playing. Still, it felt really good to actually do it. The second drop run was pretty good too. I passed the first wave. Sadly, I died at 73% just before tacos. Stream 300 was a great preview into what was to come in February, and now it's time to get into it. To start off the month on stream 302, well, nothing really happened. I mean, I still couldn't expect to get good runs every day, as I was still easing into things. But things did start to get better a lot quicker than I was expecting. On the very next stream, I got 73% again. This one was a bit more frustrating than the one in January, because now I had wasted not one potential tacos attempt, but 2. But on the bright side, I passed the first wave of Greafer again, which is by far the hardest part. Like, at this point, I had died to it over 50 times, passing it only 20% of the time. 67, 68, 69, 70 are all, to say the least, the biggest choke points I've come across. But something did switch this month, and it was game-changing, I think. That fateful 4% of the level, to my shock, was consistent? I know we're only a few days into the month, but I'm not just talking about runs from 0. I was constantly passing Greafer's part from big runs, and that consistency was what allowed me to pull off 25 to 100 the second time. Finally being able to play this part without throwing almost every time is probably the most promising improvement I've gained on this level since like 2024. In fact, I didn't even die to the first wave of Greafer until February 10th, despite getting to the second drop several times over that period. Speaking of that, we're about to enter Taco Heaven this month. It seems that I finally broke the chains of Greafer, and it was time for Taco Tuesday. On stream 307, I got back to tacos, getting a new second best of 81%. Even though it wasn't a new best, getting more than 80% still feels kind of surreal, to be honest. That wasn't just a lucky run though, because just before that I got 72%. To be honest, this is the only click I should be dying to in Greafer after 70. But this was actually the first time I died to it somehow. Well, it looks like it's gonna be an extra long Tuesday, because the very next stream I got to tacos yet again. I died in the wave at 79%, which is my most common death in tacos right now. I'm still kind of learning how to control my nerves at this part. I haven't really had enough experience playing it from 0 to be able to do anything about it. I mean, out of my 10 attempts at it, I usually have just died within the first 3 seconds. That's all good though. 2 tacos attempts back-to-back streams is enough to keep the therapist away for the time being. You know, it may sound like everything is going amazingly well, almost too well, and that's because it is, of course, too good to be true. Yes, I had gotten these great runs, but it wasn't easy to keep getting them consistently, mostly because I was very shaky with the first 35%, particularly Triplash's part. Here's a brief overview of my deaths at this part alone during the first 10 days. If these numbers don't mean anything to you, just trust me, it's a lot of deaths. My pre-drop consistency was not helping either, so I had to be really patient if I wanted a good run. And if you know one thing about me and Greef, it's that patience is pretty much long gone. So basically, this was a really hard thing to deal with. Luckily, this Triplash mind block was short-lived, but the first 25% I was still having trouble with. I was good enough to get some decent attempts though. The good thing was that I was very consistent from 35% onwards, so once I got there I could easily get to the second drop, which I did on stream 311, dying to 67% and later 68%. During the middle of February, there was a small hiccup in this 35% onwards consistency that I speak of, and it's all because of Burger Daz. I would get here almost every stream, but most of the time I wouldn't get to Greafer. A ton of wasted second drop attempts occurred during this time, and all we can do is mourn them. Really. I was able to keep my head up though, because I continued to do amazing runs pretty consistently, getting 25 to 92 on stream 311, 25 to 87 on stream 313, and 25 to 100 for the third time on stream 314. Getting this run again was insane, and when I got 35 to 97 the next day, I started to actually think I could beat this soon. Getting runs like this so frequently is genuinely a good indicator that the end is here. Something I didn't really consider when committing myself to streaming every day was whether or not my hand could physically keep up. If you've been following the verification at all, you'd know that I've had major problems with fatigue in my arm and hand. By the middle of February, the fatigue was already setting in, and the worst part was that I couldn't even take a day off. Whether it was my finger, my wrist, my arm, something was gonna pain me for 2 hours straight every day. And let me tell you, it was not pleasant at all. It made playing Greef way more frustrating than it already is, but I'm proud to say I dealt with it pretty well, I think. Besides all the time I spent complaining about it. I tried my best and still was capable of getting good runs. My next Greefer attempt was on stream 318, dying to 67%, and on the next stream, dying to 68%. No surprise there, you know what they say. Even though Mom's been making tacos, you can't have them every day. On stream 322, Mom did in fact make tacos again, and I died at 79%. 3 taco attempts in a single month is something I've never done before. I think we are in a new era of this verification, where I can pass Greefer more than once per Fortnite season. It's definitely the push forward that I needed. Stream 322, it did not end there. I got to the second drop 3 more times actually. 1 67% death, and 2 68% deaths. But yeah, tacos again. Can't complain. I even got there again on stream 323, sadly dying before the wave at the 78% ball click. Always a shame to die before the wave, but again, tacos are so delicious, I really can't complain. I also got a 69% run afterwards, so it was looking really good for the end of February. But there's always a but. Like I said, my finger and hand pain was just building up, from playing every day, and it was getting more uncomfortable to play. That being said, I knew I was still good enough to get at least one good run per day, even if I had to endure some pain. So I just let myself get that one good run I needed every day and then checked out. On stream 324, I got my 4th 25 to 100 run, which is it's genuinely unreal how often I'm getting this now. Very few things give me hope at this point, but I can't say that getting 25 to 100 3 times in the past month isn't promising. On stream 325, my one good run was 68%, and I checked out. On stream 326, I started with 35 to 97. A very good run, but that last 3% was bugging me a little bit, so I stayed in the game. The smell of tacos was coming back, and it was getting closer and closer, and I needed it so bad, and I got it. 80% for the second time. This is now my 5th tacos attempt in February alone. If I can keep this up, any day can be the day, to be honest. Like I said earlier, my ability to pass Greafer regularly is probably the most important improvement I've gained in a long time. To end the month off, I got 73% again, just to mog the first Greafer wave one last time. And that is the end of February, after streaming every single day. This may be one of my best months of all time. It's never felt closer than it does right now, and I'm really looking forward to cooking some tacos in the future. Thanks everyone for watching as always, and I will see you in the next progress report.